welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Nick, and welcome back to the 90's Guys show. Today's topic is a little bit different, but since it's that time of the year, it's December, it's almost Christmas time, I figured why not talk about toys and what it was like growing up for me, in the late 80's going into the 90's, and how different things are now. Now, obviously now, you have things like Amazon and Walmart.com and pretty much any website that you can order from and have it shipped directly to your house. Now, how convenient is that? It's super convenient. It's super easy. Sometimes it's a lot cheaper. Free shipping a lot of times if you order a bunch, especially on Amazon. They have a lot of free shipping if you have Amazon Prime. But, as you can see here, I'm a huge toy collector. Wrestling figures, all different types of toy lines. And how things were, especially for me back then, was very different. You had to actually physically go to the store. You had to physically go to the store, look in a catalog, and get it shipped to your house. But the majority of the time, you had to physically go and see if the store had the item, buy it, bring it home. That was basically the concept, and especially now, with the way things are with COVID, getting things shipped to your house is a lot more convenient for a lot of people who are older and susceptible to getting sick. They get things shipped to their house. Maybe you don't have certain stores in your area. You can get it shipped to your house from that particular website. So the convenience factor is very nice to have. But at the same time, especially when you grew up without those, luxuries back then, I enjoyed going into places like Toys R Us and KB Toys and Hill's Department Store if you're in the Midwest. Best Buy when it was actually, had stuff. Nowadays, you go in there and it doesn't really have a whole lot of physical media. Most stores have gotten rid of CDs altogether, even though vinyl has made a huge comeback. It's just really sad to walk into these stores. And even before COVID, the amount of stock that a lot of these places had has just diminished considerably. We also had a place in the area called K's Merchandise, which also had an all different name called Service Merchandise. As far as I knew, it was just in the Midwest here in Illinois. I think there were some in Ohio, Kentucky, and a couple other places. But Hill's Department Store was a huge one, especially for toys. It was like a dreamland when you walked in there. During the regular time of the year was huge too. But during Christmas time, their slogan was, Hills, where the toys are. And they'd have their Toyland. And it was crazy. Just aisle after aisle after aisle. Kmart used to have aisles of toys. Walmart used to have aisles of toys. KB Toys, you name it. All these places, just aisles and aisles and aisles. Now when you go into a lot of these places, it's very small, simplified sections. And, I understand the fact that, like, now, especially, kids nowadays still play with toys. But the other side of that is, they're more focused on mobile games. They've got their iPads and smartphones at younger ages. Video games, we've always had video games, but obviously now, there's more of them. They're more advanced. A lot of kids are playing on the computer games, things like that. So the sales of, toys has probably dropped quite a bit. But there's still the sales. Like, you're still going to have kids playing with, trucks and cars. And, the girls are going to be playing with baby dolls and Barbies and things like that. That's never going to change. But compared to, let's say, 15, 20 years ago, things were completely different. You had video games, but it wasn't online. Computers were mostly used very sparingly. So, you had action figures and G.I. Joes and, you know, all those different kinds of toys, Batman, Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You had all these different types of things that sold incredible. Now, wrestling figures still sell a hell of a ton. And if you're a collector like me, you understand the frustration of distribution problems. You walk into the store, you see 47 AJ Styles, you see Finn Balor, you see Daniel Bryan, you see all of what I call the peg warmers, the ones that just sit forever, because the box that they bring in is just double packed with so much of these figures, and the rest of them are short packed. So you end up with like collectors or scalpers or whatever getting the good ones out of the set. And then there's like 47 AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, things like that. The distribution has been so horrible in the last probably 3 or 4 years. It's gotten considerably worse. We have Walmart. We have 2-3 Walmarts in our area. We have a Target. We have a Meijer, which is hit or miss on wrestling figures. But the distribution was never this bad with Jakks Pacific. I don't remember it ever being that bad. There used to be just racks and racks of Jakks figures and Hasbros and LJNs. But when Mattel took over, the first couple years were really good. Now, you can't blame COVID, because the pegs were empty before COVID. This was a problem that was even before. So yes, it is convenient to go online, order which one you want, get it shipped to your house. But the thrill of actually seeing the item, being able to touch the item, inspect it, and be like, oh yeah, I want this one, and then taking it home. The thrill of the hunt. You know, like if you're a Star Wars collector or a collector of video games or anything, when you find it out in the wild, it's that thrill, that adrenaline. It's a lot, you get that thrill, satisfaction finding it yourself, as opposed to going online, click, ship to your house. And I understand things have changed considerably in the way things are done in the marketplace. Convenience factor, cheaper not to have it in the store, just having it in a warehouse, things like that. But growing up when I did, I was born in 85. So, you know, I was at the tail end of the 80s, going into the early 90s. So we had to go to the store to get things. You know, you had the K's catalog, you had the Sears catalog, JCPenney, to where you could look at the items during Christmas time or whatever, order it, get it shipped to your house. But most of the time, you went as a family to go Christmas shopping, and, you know, you would be able to see things and be like, oh, Mom, Dad, you know, I would like this, you know, maybe that would be cool. You know, I really want a Super Nintendo. I want a Genesis. I want some wrestling figures. And sometimes, you know, you'd walk them through the aisle and be like, you know, hey, which ones would you want? And you'd be like, this one, this one, this one, you know, and you'd be like, okay, you know, Santa will get you that. And you knew your mom and dad was going to get them. But anyways, thank you for joining this trip down memory lane with me. Like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell icon to make sure you get all the notifications, and I'll see y'all later.